everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 26, DJI Air 3S leak, plus DJI Drone Ban update. Let's see who we got in the house already. You guys are on the spot here. Let's see all who's here. Captain Joe Merrick is here. Frank Rizzo, welcome, Frank. Mad Props. Casey Crime Fighter, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Dr. Ted. Richard is here. Michael's here. Captain Ray is here. Let's see who else we got. Akarasho's here. John is here. Welcome, John. Let's see who else we got. Wow, God, Sergeant Rock, welcome. Good to see you tonight, my friend. Drone Views Media, Leonard Oglesby, welcome, Leonard. Alex Escardo, welcome, Alex. Good to see you tonight. See who else we got. Going through here. Wow, you guys are jumping in the chat. Um, First thing I want to share with you guys is we've had a house guest for the past couple weeks, and I'm going to show you a picture of our house guest here. So hang on a second here. This is our house guest. This is Beefy, Beefy, just like it sounds. Okay, it's Valerie's daughter, Jessica. This is her dog. Her and her husband were on vacation for 2 weeks. And so we were left with the task of watching Beefy. Beefy is a Shih Tzu, and emphasis on the first part of that syllable. Okay. And quick joke here. I think George Lucas, when he was coming up with his idea for Star Wars, I think he had a Shih Tzu. And when he was coming up for names with characters, instantly came up with one for, of course, Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan. Okay. Obstinate one is all Shih Tzus have one thing in common. They're obstinate. All right. We love him. He is a bundle of joy. I say that with all the love I can muster. Um, he is letting us sleep through the night and working from home during the day. It's been pretty good. So so far so good. Thursday, his mom, my stepdaughter Jessica, is coming to pick him up, and Friday, Valerie and I took off, so we're gonna have kind of like stretch our wings out because we've been kind of like having to tiptoe through the tulips to make sure he's sensitive as far as sleeping is concerned. So we don't want to disturb the force, as they say. But we've had Beefy for 2 weeks here, and he's been a good boy. Valerie's done an exceptional job. Um, but it's been a while because our dog that we had that passed away 3 years ago, Valerie got her. She was not. She's kind of still a puppy, but not a real puppy. This is every bit 120% puppy. So yeah, teething, all that kind of good stuff. So, but we've had a good time, and we're very thankful that everything's gone well, and we're gonna move on here. All right, that's Beefy. His real name is Beefcake Supreme. For those of you who probably want to know. All right, okay, all right. Now the second one that I want to share with you guys. Oh, excuse me. All right, I get my stuff together. I really am here, guys. Most of you know I'm a hockey fan. I know Bob Dempsey. I don't know if Bob's in here tonight or not. Knows I'm a huge hockey fan. I went to my first game in 1972. Been hooked ever since. Of course, my number one team is the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they didn't even make playoffs this year. But my number two team, it not only made playoffs, they won the Stanley Cup final last night. And that's why you didn't see me in the chat last night on Drone Nation. There they are, the Florida Panthers. They are the 2024 Stanley Cup champions. And there they are. Well, we've been down to their arena for some games when they played the Penguins. One of the best arenas in hockey today. Absolutely loved it. Easy parking, easy to get in and out of. There's a couple of hotels close by. It's about a 3.5 hour drive down there. It's in Sunrise, Florida, which is north of Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to go down to some games, not necessarily when they're playing the Penguins next year, to go down there and see them. One of the other things that I've done, a birthday present to myself, I'm changing my license plate to a Florida Panthers license plate. It's red. It will go well with my truck. So, but congratulations to the Florida Panthers, 2024 Stanley Cup champions. Okay. Um, yeah, quick cat. Um, it was it was a good series. Yeah, Dr. Ted. You know, Edmonton, and this is just I'll give you a Reader's Digest version here. Um, they're a good team, but I call them a one trick pony because beyond Draisaitl and McDavid, really they're not very deep, and their goaltending, even though Skinner looked good, is not very good. You know, their surface on the surface they look okay, and they kind of took Florida. I think Florida was tired for a few games, and I think that's why they lost those three in a row. But last night they came out pumped up. They had energy. Um, and the captain for the Florida Panthers, Barkov, he shadowed McDavid the whole night, and that's really what won the game for them. McDavid didn't have any room to skate, and it was over. Okay, all right. Enough said. Enough said. All right, all right. Ron Marcus will be joining me here in a little bit. I hope you guys had a chance to watch last week when we had Randall on. Randall was a fantastic guest. I was really thankful. I'm trying to get some other guys lined up, so stay tuned for that. Um, but I wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, let's see. Let's go first things first here. All right. Now, you guys probably know, and I don't have a banner for this here. So this is just going to come up here. Okay. Let you guys know, yeah. Specta Air was on sale. It's not on sale anymore, but it was on sale. It was $200 off. It got under the 990. It was $999. That sale is no longer valid, so it's back up to its normal price of $1,199. I hope several of you took advantage of it. That's an incredible deal, and of course, they were doing this in order to match the prices with the Air 3S or the Air 3S. We're going to talk about that here coming up. So hang on here, okay? They did that to keep in touch, keep tabs with the Air 3 because the Air 3, as you guys know, DJI's had that on sale. But this was a good deal. In an update, they did tell me and they did confirm to me that come July, they are going to have their website's going to be updated. You're going to be able to buy extra batteries. You see right here, and you'll be able to buy additional propellers for the Specta Air, and you'll also be able to purchase the Mini as well too. Now, I have 3 videos sitting there ready to be released for the Mini. I can't put them out there because there's no I mean, I can put them out there, but there'd be no link to buy them, and I think you guys will seriously, I think if Cogito, Specta prices them right, they're gonna sell incredibly well, and you're really gonna recognize it when it comes out. I've shown it to you before. You guys have seen it. I'll bring it out here again. A little bit of show and tell here. All right. You got seriously, a DJI Mini uh, SE by any other name right here. All right. Um, yeah. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. It will come in July. I did get confirmation of that from them. They pretty much told me it's a done deal, but it will be July. And my guess with all of that, just to let you guys know, my guess with all that is a lot of that had to do with logistics. They wanted to make sure that they had enough in stock to be able to sell them. Of course, they have plenty of the Specta Air in stock, but they want to make sure that they have enough Mini in stock. They want to make sure they have all the accessories lined up as well. Because initially they had told me they could sell them, but they didn't have any packaging for them. So it would, it was a real mess, and they didn't have a system in place really to sell them other than through wire transfer. And I told them, I said, I don't think so. I don't think so. So yeah, Akaracho. Yeah, good point. Thank you for Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, it is Captain Ray. It is. Um, so we'll find out. With the Mini. I'm not real sure what they're going to end up pricing this at. Uh, I'm hoping it's going to be very competitive with DJI, maybe undercut them a little bit, and they'll be able to get some sales there. And here we have Mr. Ron Brown. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well tonight, Bill, and congrats to the state of Florida for the Stanley Cup title. Was that the first Florida team to win a Stanley Cup?
That was it. Well, no, Tampa's won the cup several times.
Okay,
This is the first time
for
for the
Florida.
Florida Panthers.
Oh, wait,
Um,
that's great.
so I'm real excited about that. And this is a first. I'm going to show everybody. Just hold on to your hats here for a second, okay?
Uh-oh. He's going to get the new Air 3S.
No, this isn't. I went ahead and got myself a birthday present today, Ron.
Oh.
This is my new plate, okay?
Oh,
And
oh, wow.
it's red, okay,
Uh-huh.
for the Panthers. And what you see on there, that's my call sign for ham radio.
Oh,
So,
wow.
um, I'm allowed to put that on there.
Oh,
But
nice, nice.
it is, and it's coincidentally, our registrations are based on our birthday, which mine's next month.
Okay.
So I went in today to go to the tax collector, Bureau of Motor Vehicles, hour
Mm-hmm.
and a half today, going
Oh, boy.
waiting through that. Oh, painful. It was
So what
absolutely
you're telling
painful.
me, DMV is no better in Florida than it was back in Pennsylvania?
Oh, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess there today. When you walk in, they give you a QR code to scan, and you're walking, and then they call the numbers. They text you the calls, and they announce them where you're supposed to go to. Hour and a half today. Yeah, and then of course every person from every walk of life is in that building.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trust me on that
Yeah,
one. I
if
was
you
telling
don't believe
Bella.
America's a melting pot, go stand in DMV for an hour.
Oh yeah, I mean it was like you name it, you saw them there. I mean it was everybody, every cross section of that you would ever kind of think about were there.
You
So,
probably heard several different languages.
oh yeah, and let's say I saw some women who were part of the oldest profession on this earth.
Say no more.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling Valerie, I'm like, dear God, get me out of here sooner rather than
I
later.
guess everybody has to drive, right? It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
you're. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And just and you know what gets me is they make it so easy now. Like if you want to go in and just do your renewal, okay, they have a kiosk where you can do it.
Oh, okay.
And they're straightforward, simple instructions. And people go up there and they are clueless. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, some people, older people have a hard time navigating some of that stuff, and it's better for them to go up to the counter to do it. But it's just, yeah, yeah. So we'll kind of just
We
leave that.
digress here. We're getting back to drones now, folks.
We're gonna get back to drones right now. And my apologies, I didn't get a chance to watch Drone Nation last night because I was watching the game last night.
Yeah,
So
understood, understood. But we had a pretty good show. Again, that Ryan Latourette was on, and he you know, we tried to ask him different things. We asked it, Moss. We talked about the new bill by that John Tester out west, the new drone bill. We tried, and Ryan's very involved with that case in the University of Michigan, where they're going to arrest people for flying drones, and so it was got some good stuff last night.
well, we'll get into that here in a minute because I just have just incredible amount of articles to go over. Let's see, where's the first one here? Okay. Um,
Are they all good news articles, Bill?
okay, well, the first one is something I know. Yeah, the first one is something I know. You know, we're going to talk about the Air 3S, and
Okay.
okay, first of all, okay, we had been conditioned with this, Ron, thinking an Air 4 was coming out,
Right,
okay,
right.
and then our buddy Igor said, no, it's an Air 3S, and I'm just like, okay. So let me go ahead and throw that article up.
So
I
that
mean,
just
I was
tells you the people that were telling us that it was Air 4 a couple of months ago really didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, and and okay, Air 3S, it makes perfect sense. And then here's a picture. I'm not going to show the video because I'll get clipped for that. But
Right.
here's the picture of the drone itself. And I mean, it's you pull out your Air 3 and it's the same thing. It's really not
Yeah. So it looks like
anything.
only things inside the body is the same.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, with this here, let's
And
back
to
up.
be fair, Bill, it didn't need a body upgrade. The body's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no qualms or quarrels with that because the way that flies and its aerodynamics, it's absolutely fine. I
Right.
mean, I don't think anybody would really kind of argue with that.
Nobody complains their Air 3 doesn't fly well, right?
Exactly. Okay. Um, Now they're talking about the article here. Leaker Igor has shared a video showing a possible DJI Air 3S unit test unit in flight. Video showcases a form factor and camera system similar to the previous DJI Air series models, which led to speculation the Air 3S could build on the features of the Air 2 and Air 3. The new DJI drone could potentially offer a dual camera setup with advanced capabilities, merging a large 1-inch sensor with a smaller 1/1/3 inch sensor. Okay. Then there's the video. Now the
And Bill,
potential
don't
US
worry
ban.
about not being able to show that video. It's like 2 seconds long.
Yeah, yeah. Now the potential US ban on DJI drones could limit consumer access to new models, but the so-called Air 3S is already in process of gaining certification from the FCC. It would likely not be affected. Okay, and we're going to talk. I got a boatload of articles we're going to talk about
Okay.
as far as the drone ban is concerned, and
Let me
any.
just ask you before we get to the ban. When do you expect that? I mean, we don't have any magic crystal balls, but when are you thinking this Air 3S will show up in the U.S.?
I think it's going to be sooner rather than later, and I
Okay.
think they're really pushing it. I think the thing is, and I think historically we have seen. All right, they want to have enough units on hand because if they put this out there, it's going to sell. All right, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it will sell. There'll be no doubt about it. I think that's the thing. They want to make sure that there's enough out there before they pull the trigger and say it's out there, it's available, you can purchase it now. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. I think we'll see it sometime in maybe mid-July. I mean, I think it's
Yeah, I
coming
mean,
in
we've
it's
been
coming
hearing
pretty
all
fast.
along, whether it's Air 4 or Air 3S, mid to late July, early August. But that's what I'm talking about here. We're in the dying days of June, Bill.
Yeah,
But by next week's show, it's July already. So July is not
yeah,
something that's it well in the distance. July is right around the corner. So yeah,
yeah. It's knocking on our door. So I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. I think probably around Valerie's birthday is the 8th of July. Mine's the 16th. It's probably gonna hit probably around my birthday, probably
so I
middle of
gotta
the
get
month.
my
What I'm
drone
thinking.
piggy bank out, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Okay, and I'm going to say this before we move on to the next subject here. Somebody's going to have a hard time convincing me to give up my Air 3 to sell it to buy an Air 3S, Ron. Okay.
Right.
This is just one of these things. It's like pry my cold dead hands off the Air 3 because it's just been I could find no fault with it. Okay. And I think you would probably say the same.
Yeah, it's my go-to drone. It's the one I grab even more so than the I only have the regular Mavic 3 because of that that 3x tele lens on it, which is the same lens as on the Mavic 3 Pro. Plus, it's my best flying drone all around. I mean, the battery life, just speed, ascent and descent. It has features the Mavic 3 series doesn't have. It's just my best drone. And Bill, I know a lot of people are going to run to if it has this 1-inch sensor on the main camera, but I mean, like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything by the sensor I have on the current Air 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm the same way, Ron. I'm the same way. I look at the quality of the video that I get from the Air 3. I'm like, I can't complain as much as I want to try to nitpick and find something that's wrong with it. It's not. It's out there. It works and it does a great job. I
And
mean,
here's something that I think will be a con for me. I love now that the wide angle lens on the Air 3 is the same camera sensor as the one over the 3x. So when I switch back between lenses, the footage looks exactly the same. There's no color shift, or one doesn't have more detail than the other. But I really won't like it if they put a camera and it doesn't look like the 3X Tele. I don't like that two different camera looks on the same
Yeah,
drone.
I agree. I agree with you, Ron. I agree with you 100%. So, we're gonna find out shortly.
I mean,
Okay, that's
I could go with dual 1-inch sensors, put a 1-inch sensor in that 3X Tele.
I would be
Then
good
you
with
may
that.
have me.
I would be good with that. Yeah, that may really sweeten the pot for me if something like that happens. So, there are a ton of articles I want to get over here before we start talking, because there's a lot of relevant information here, and there's been a lot come out. Now, one of the things, other than the traditional sources that I use, Drone XL and Drone DJ, I've signed up for Google Alerts for
Oh,
countering CCP Drone Act. Okay, and I'm getting great articles here. Now, the first one, um, lawmakers call for declassification and national security risks posed by Chinese-made drones. Now, I've been trying to post this in Drone Nation in the group, and also in Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook group, just to make sure everybody gets a chance to take a look at that. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, I'm not gonna do deep dives into these articles. I just want to kind of touch on some things. Um, on June 20th, 2024, House Committee on Homeland Security called on the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Energy to declassify information related to national security threats posed by drones manufactured in the People's Republic of China. The request highlights drones made by DJI and Autel Robotics, which together hold a significant share of global drone market. Okay, that's really kind of all I'm going to say about that, because I want to move on to some other stuff here. Okay, this next one. China is urging its drone pilots to not leak state secrets. Okay, let me go ahead and get this up here. All right. Okay. China is urging its drone pilots to not leak state secrets. Um, China's top anti-espionage agency has issued a stern warning to drone users to ensure their activities do not result in the leakage of state secrets. This warning from the Ministry of State Security, a part of a broader initiative by Chinese government to bolster its counter-espionage efforts, comes at a time when the U.S. is deciding its stance on China-manufactured DJI drones. According to a report, MSS warning comes in response to multiple recent incidents of drone users inadvertently leaking sensitive information. For instance, the man was jailed for over a year for illegally photographing a new warship and bragging about it on military forums. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to another one here. Okay. DJI Ban Loophole.
on that last one, Bill, maybe DJI should ban all the American drones to stop all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a twist? That right, kind of like right back at him here. Okay. All right, DJI Ban Loophole, meet the Specta and Specta Mini. Okay, and I'm not even really going to kind of read this. I think you guys know this article was out there. I put this out there last week, but it's out there again. And we kind of touched base when we talked to Randall last week about this as well. So this kind of is kind of talking about the same thing right here. But I wanted to make you guys aware of this. All right. So we have more coming up here. Now, this one's Skydio hires national security experts amid potential DJI drone ban. Okay, let's find that here. Okay. All right. Skydio's new advisory board includes General U.S. Army retired Austin Scott Miller, Dr. Nadia Shadlow, former Deputy National Security Advisor, Peter W. Singer, a military futurist and senior fellow at New America, Lieutenant General U.S. Air Force retired Kirk Pierce, Major General Royal Australian Army retired Mick Ryan, AM. Okay, the board will collaborate with Skydio's executive team and help guide the company's strategy and tactics in the defense space. The members of the board will convene quarterly and provide guidance on an ad hoc basis to address emerging issues. Okay, so I'm gonna and it's okay. The announcement of Skydio's National Security Advisory Board comes at a critical juncture in the U.S. drone industry, with the government considering a potential ban on a drone giant DJI due to national security concerns. Skydio's technological advancements and strategic initiatives in the field of data security highlight the importance of fostering domestic drone technology. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and go on. I think I have, let's see here. All right. All right. Here. Senator Tester introduces bill to the Senate, similar Representative Stefanik countering CCB Drones Act. So we're going to go ahead and go over this one here. Now, this one was on Drone XL.
Yes.
Now, again, I drop all these articles. I would say almost all of them are on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group and also on Drone Nation Facebook group. So if you're looking for them, you can find these articles and read them at your length. And this is why I'm kind of going over this so we can have a discussion here in a minute here. Tester introduces bill to crack down on Chinese drones over spying concerns. U.S. Senator John Tester, Democrat Montana, plans to introduce Senate companion to the Countering CCP Drones Act on Thursday. The bill, originally authorized by Representative Elise Stefanik in the House, Republican New York, aims to restrict Chinese-made drones, particularly those from market leader DJI, citing national security and privacy concerns. Okay, and basically, what the gist of this is, just to kind of let you know things in the way our government, quote unquote, works. All right, the bill will be introduced in the House. And a lot of times what happens is it will get it gets amended in the Senate. And this is kind of an amending process, okay? And a lot of times the senators want to get their own flavor and their own wording, and they want to maybe kind of close some loopholes. So that's why this is being done. All right.
Yeah,
So
loophole. We're closing here. It looks like Testers, in his terms, he's banning all Chinese drones, not just DJI.
The Senate Armed Services Committee will review its version, which may or may not include the Countering CCP Drones Act starting on June 12th. The bill could be amended or removed during this process, although removal seems unlikely at this point. If included, the full Senate will debate and vote on its NDAA version. Differences with the House bill will need to be reconciled. Conference goes to conference committee, and then it will eventually go to the president here. Okay. Drone XL's take. Countering CCP Drones Act, now progressing through both chambers of Congress, reflects growing concerns over the security implications of Chinese-made drones. As the U.S. seeks to reduce reliance on Chinese technology, the drone industry finds itself at a critical juncture. Balancing national security with economic impact on the drone ecosystem will be crucial moving forward. The debate is far from over as Stefanik's bill advances in the House and Tester's companion legislation makes its way through the Senate. The future U.S. drone industry and its relationship with China hangs in the balance. The outcome of this bicameral effort would have significant ramifications for drone service providers, businesses, public safety agencies relying on DJI's technology. As the legislative process unfolds, stakeholders will be closely watching to see how Congress addresses this complex issue. Okay. Now, Ron, first thing I want to say, and then I'm gonna open this up here a little bit, is one of the things that a lot of people aren't really familiar with because we don't really pay a lot of attention to it on our shows is DJI's agricultural drones. All right. Almost, I would say a majority of American farmers who use drones, they use DJI drones. There's no other agricultural drones that are out there to my knowledge right now. Okay. So what they're doing, we're, first responders. Obviously, it's going to affect that. It's going to affect, you know, eh, inspections. It's going to, like roof inspections, house inspections, plant inspections, that kind of thing. Cell phone tower inspections. It's going to, interfere obviously with us and people who have legitimate businesses. But the big thing is, it's going to mess with our food supply. It's, farmers will not be able to use these drones, and these drones have saved them quite a bit of effort and time and being able to get food on the table. I mean, somebody has once said, there's no more important job than providing food for the table. And this is one of these things here that I think has kind of been glossed over and people haven't talked about a lot. But I wanted to bring this up and just, put this out there for everybody to realize, you know, these farmers, they could lose these agricultural drones. They would have to go back and it would take so much longer to get these crops to market and whatever, it's just incredible. Ron,
Yeah, I mean, the
wide
last
open.
thing we can afford is higher food prices. Everybody knows how high food prices have been the last couple of years. But Bill, the way Ryan Lotrat and Vic Boss explained it, that they don't think the wording of these bills is going to affect current drones. So these farmers already have their agriculture drones. They should be good for at least a few years until those drones start to break down.
Yeah, I
And
think
even
so
then,
too. I think
DJI can still sell their current agriculture drones. They can keep them on the virtual shelf and keep selling them for years. And I think a couple people made the point is DJI so far ahead of the game. In 5 years, their current drones will still be relevant.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And these drone and I'm gonna tell you this. I priced some of them out. They're even more expensive than some of the Matrice drones. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Um, and the precision with which they fly, they're almost all pre-programmed, okay?
Right.
And they use some type of RTK system because they want to deliver precise, whether they're delivering insecticide, whether they're seeding, whatever they're doing, it involves absolute 100% precision, and they need that. And these drones are very expensive, but they do their job and they do it very well. I mean,
Well, I
they're
sure hope that they let them continue to fly their current agricultural drones. I mean,
I think they will. I think they will, and I think one of the things, we talk about that, and a lot of other reviewers out there have put videos out there, you know, they're shaking the stick and kind of scaring people, and you need to kind of look at this from you know, a rational perspective and not go, oh, the sky is falling kind of a thing. Okay. Yes, this is important. Yes, it's critical. Yes, you do need to call your United States Senator's office. Okay. It's that's not an option. Okay. You need to do that. Emails are fine. Calls are what we really need for all of you to do. Have two United States senators. It's easy to find their numbers. And more often than not, they have an office in the city. If you're located in a major metropolitan area, that's how I got a hold of Senator Rick Scott's office, talked to a staffer there, left my message, left my concern, got an email. Little Marco, though, I call, I get an answering machine. All right. Little Marco. No, just don't get me started about him. All right. But all in all,
His office must have been on vacation that week, Bill.
well, I tried his office in DC. I got the leave a message. And I tried his office in Tampa. I got the same thing, and I'm like, done. Okay,
Yeah.
done. I'm not. And I called Rick Scott's office twice, and his office has been very nice, very responsive, and very good. And that's the thing. When you call these offices, okay, and speak to a staffer, go half cocked off on them. Don't, preach doom and gloom and everything. Just state as a matter of fact, you're against the Countering CCP Drones Act, all right? And you believe this is going to cost thousands of Americans their jobs and their livelihoods. And this is something that needs to be addressed, and an alternative needs to be addressed. Okay, if you want to ban DJI drones, what's the alternative? What will we use? What will take its place? You know, speak nicely to them. As Teddy Roosevelt used to say, speak softly and carry a big stick. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
speak softly here. Okay,
yeah.
you really do need to with these guys and do that here. Okay,
Well,
now
I wish we had Teddy stand up for our drones.
yeah, yeah, he would take care of things in a heartbeat. Okay, now I just presented a whole wealth of information here tonight. Go back and go through these articles. Okay, some of these are great articles. Now there was one that I didn't. There was a recent interview with someone from DJI, and I posted that out there. I know I posted it out on my group. Also posted it out on Bob Dempsey's group, Old Parts with Drones. So definitely you want to do that, and you want to read these articles here. Okay. So, it involves getting an education and understanding some things. All right. Because if ban hits, okay, and there's uh, there's so many which ways it can go. I know Vic Moss has said, he's not even sure which direction it could go in. All right. But if it goes in the direction that they're going to just ban new drones, okay, it won't apply to our drones. Okay. We will still be able to use them. Software firmware updates, no, that's an unknown. Don't know about that. But I am sure things like, batteries, propellers, things like that, they're going to be made available because
Right.
you know what? Okay, technically those products don't follow under FCC guidelines because, a
Yeah.
battery, is not a part of the FCC, neither propellers or cases or
They don't
whatever other
communicate with
accessory.
anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the drone itself, and it's also the controller. That's where the FCC comes in with this. Okay. So number one, know that's going to happen. Number two, there are alternatives already out on the horizon. I mean, we talked to Randall last week, all right, and he put forth. And if you haven't watched that show, do go watch it. Okay, Randall was fantastic. I want to get him on again in a couple of months. I know Ron and I both really enjoyed talking to him and him sharing with us what's going on. Now, also too, don't make light of Specta. All right, as I told you earlier in the show, they've already told me July they're going to be 100%. The Mini will be up there. Their Specta Mini will be available for sale, and hopefully it will be at a very competitive price. And they will finally have the extra batteries and props and other accessories for the Air as well too. Okay, now those are options that are available to you as well too here. So these are some things to kind of pursue. One of the things that really, I kind of get a little bit of a laugh out of it, but I'm out on Twitter every day, and I look to see what Original Dobo was posted about Skydio, what his rant about Skydio is for the day, because he's been and Ken, you're spot on with these rants, okay? Because Skydio came in as our friend. Skydio came in and said, we're going to give you this drone that you've never seen before. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to revolutionize the drone industry, and it's going to revolutionize consumer drones.
And
Okay.
it's made in America.
And it's made in America.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody signed up. Okay. Everybody gets it. And we find out it's not, it's a great tracking drone. All right. Don't get me wrong with that. It
And
does a great
avoidance.
job with that.
And
But
avoidance.
flying it as a normal drone, like our Air 3 or our Mavic 3, it doesn't do the job. It's not there. Okay.
And
So that was
you
a
said everybody
fail.
got it. Remember, some people got it like a year after they ordered it. It was
Yeah.
a slow,
Had
very
to
slow shipping drone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, and that's a great point, Ron, that you made because that's one of the things that they're talking about. If they want to get an American manufacturer up and running, okay, how long is this going to take? All right,
Yeah. What
this
if
is
you make money with your drone? You have to wait a year for that drone to come.
Yeah, yeah, and Randall addressed this last week too because he was saying, a lot of his parts are not made in China, okay, and they're sourced elsewhere, and he was smart about that. But everything is assembled in Malaysia, okay, so they get away from this made in China tag that's on there, all right,
Mhm.
which is a good thing, and I think Specta probably does the same thing as well. I can't speak 100% for that, but I mean, that's something positive, and that's something to look at here. So all in all, I think y- we're going to find out something sooner rather than later on this, Ron.
Yeah, yeah. And
As Congress,
I was on some show last week, and it was interesting. Somebody pulled their Avata 2 out, and the Avata 2 boxes, it was made in Malaysia.
really,
Now, I never got
wow,
around to checking my box, but they showed it on camera. Said made in Malaysia on the Avata 2 box.
wow. See, you know, it,
Yeah,
I
look,
I
U.S.
know what
drone
Randall
flyer.
said.
Captain Joe just confirmed there. Avata 2 made in Malaysia. Well, I
Yeah,
think he's confirming it.
interesting. That is interesting. That is very interesting that they do. Well, obviously labor there is not very expensive, so it's conducive for them to be able to do that. and it's not mainland China. It's not part of the CCP. It's one of these things where people can go ahead and say, you know what, this is going to work. This is something that's something that we need to look at right here. So there are alternatives out there, and
We're
that's something.
we're friendly with the Malaysian government, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So my thing right now is, and I know Marcus says this all the time, and Ron does too. Get out there, fly your drones. Don't have don't have what they call, and I've heard analysis paralysis. You know, overanalyze this situation to death, and what are they doing in Congress today? Are they voting on it? Are they? You know what? Go out there, fly your drones, enjoy them, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, all right. And I
And
and I'm and I
according to what the experts say, you'll be able to fly your current drones until the drone doesn't fly anymore or whatever. They're not. They're not. I think everybody thinks they're coming to take our drones, and they're not coming to take our drones. They're basically stopping any future drones.
Exactly. That's what they're trying to do. Akarasho put up a good point as well too about Walmart and Amazon. Okay, because Amazon has just gotten clearance from the FAA to fly
Yeah.
BVLOS, beyond visual
Of
line
course,
of
there are
sight.
two companies that sell a lot of drones too.
Exactly.
Walmart has like a aisle of drones or a shelf of drones, and so they're and of course Amazon. So they're two of the places that sell a lot of drones.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of economics going on with all of this. All right. And it's wise to pay attention to what's going on, but get out there and enjoy your drones. Don't sit there, you know, day after day. Well,
My drone's
right now,
banned. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just get out there and fly and enjoy it, because, and it's exciting. Another drone's coming. Okay. You want to call it an answer, yes, it's around the corner, it's coming. So, don't be discouraged about all of this. And I think a lot of people are discouraged about it, and I think a lot of people don't want to see any more articles about it. Number one, that's, putting your head in the sand as an ostrich is a bad idea about this. Be informed, know what's going on. Number one.
Mhm.
Number two, get out there and fly. Okay, until we hear anything, and we will let you know. Ron will let you know, I'll let you know, Marcus will let you know. We'll let you guys know about this, okay? Like I said, I have Google alerts posted for Countering CCP Drones Act and DJI. So anytime something comes up newsworthy, unfortunately, it gives me everything that comes out there, and I get 10,000 articles of the same thing.
You can't
But
get to them all. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
And
can't,
hopefully,
and I
Bill,
can't.
if the white label drones are allowed to be sold in the U.S., we will still have all the future DJI drones. They'll be just under a different name coming from Spectra or
Exactly.
Anzu or something. It may not say DJI, but we'll still be getting their technology going for it, hopefully, anyways.
Exactly. And Randall's discussion, and I think, again, if you guys had not watched that, please watch that. Randall was a wealth of information, okay? He kind of hinted around through the back door that, if this ban comes to fruition, if, the worst case scenario kind of a thing, all right, they're going to start going in the direction of not only doing, commercial drones, enterprise drones, but they'll do consumer drones as well too.
Right,
And Randall's not going to fail at something like that.
right.
I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, let's say they banned iPhones or whatever, but if you could still buy the same phone from Malaysia and they call it the Q phone instead of the iPhone, what difference would it really make to the end user? We don't really care what the says on the box as long as it's the good technology underneath.
Yeah, exactly, Ron. It's like you know, people are panicking right now. It's like,
Yeah,
a typical panic kind of a situation, okay? And they automatically assume the worst with all of this.
I'm selling all my drones.
I'm gonna sell all my drones, you
I'm getting
know,
out of this hobby, selling all these drones. The government's coming after
okay.
me.
And I think I gave you guys an example probably a couple of weeks ago. Okay. Behind me, I got my latest ham radio. Zygu is the name of it. And guess where it's from? Mainland
China.
China.
I hope
Mainland
that's not
China.
sending all your radio broadcasts back to the CCP.
Yeah. Okay, mainland China. This is where, and you talk about a device that communicates. Okay, and just for those of you who aren't familiar or as familiar with ham radio, HF portion of that. Okay, that means I can talk distances on those bands, and I'm talking like, I can talk from here to Arizona. On a good night, I can probably hit Australia, Europe, a lot of places, and depending upon what they call the propagation, the way the waves are bouncing off the atmosphere, it can be a pretty clear conversation, like Ron and I are having right now. Okay, so and is there any ban on ham radios? Is there any anything going on with that? And I think that one article, and I think you guys should probably really, if you wanted to pick out an article to read, that one about them wanting to know what the national security concerns are, this is one I'm going to be following, okay? Because I've bookmarked this article, and any updates on it, I'm going to get them. Because I think it's important to find out, we may find out, what they're saying, what this national security concern
Yeah.
is, that everybody's so all hot and bothered that nobody could say, and nobody's mentioning to us because it's such a security concern. What,
Yeah, and nobody explained what the typical drone user like you and me, what data we're collecting that would have any interest to the CCP.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just
Like
it
that,
just
like that nice water fountain at the front of your, your development there. Would they have any interest in seeing your fountain in China? There's Marcus.
Yeah, we just got back to the resort, and somebody must have pulled the fire alarm. So we're standing outside waiting for them to sort that out.
Oh no! I hope your drones don't burn down
oh
inside.
Well, they're all inside there. Yeah, that could be.
I
Yeah.
hope you got it
Yeah.
in fireproof case.
Yeah. I got some great flights in today, guys.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
so for everybody, tell us where you're at, Marcus.
I'm in Seaside, Oregon. So if you look at a map of Oregon and you look up in the northwest corner, you'll see the Columbia River, and you'll see a town called Astoria. And then just south of that is a town called Seaside. And we're at a World Mark resort right on the beach. So,
And Seaside's a pretty big town. It's a lot to do in Seaside.
yeah, Ron has done
I've stayed in
the Oregon
Seaside.
tour. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna put on my I'm gonna set the phone down for a second. I'm gonna put on my headset so I can hear you. Well, my lovely bride is gonna hold the phone for a second.
Oh, the guy, you assisted. There you go.
Well, we have our reporter in the field here today, Ron. How fortunate are we to have this? Okay, this is.
Hey, I got to tell you, guys. Let me turn the phone around so you can see. You can see the Pacific out there, and you can see what kind of a day it is today. It's a blue sky day in the Northwest is something to behold. And I got some really good footage. We went as far south today as Tillamook, Oregon.
Okay.
And we made stops along the way. Ron knows Cannon Beach. We stopped at, they had a farmer's market in Cannon Beach. And then there were a lot of sites along the way. I launched the drone off the side of a cliff face, flew down negative 130 meters down to the ocean.
Wow.
Did you see any seals?
Wow.
Did you see any seals down there, Marcus? I saw a lot of seals when I was there.
Ron, I have some seal shots that are going to blow your mind. When I went out to the Tillamook Lighthouse, Tillamook Lighthouse is 1.5 miles out to sea. And there's a stairway that goes from the bottom of the rocks all the way to the top, carved out of the rocks. And there were seals that were hopping up that, climbing all the way up. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Starting to get busy out here. People are making their way out of the resort. I'm standing on top of a parking garage right now.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in a hotel when somebody's pulled the fire alarm before at 4 a.m. in the morning. That was not fun. Okay.
That is not fun. I've been in that situation before too. It sucks, doesn't it, Bill?
And it's like those alarms, they're not gentle. Okay. They will wake the dead. All right. Trust me,
Yeah.
it would shake and reverberate everywhere.
My,
So,
my Apple Watch was telling me that I was in too loud of an environment.
Yeah,
ah,
yeah, I get that all the time.
wow,
It's
this
still,
is
I can
great.
still hear it ringing out there, even with my AirPods in. So that's how loud it is.
That's how loud. Yeah, yeah. We had. Oh, I'll never forget that. That was a mess. Hey, real quick, what I did was today we went over a bunch of stuff. I put a bunch of articles out there, and one of the ones that I'm telling everybody to kind of really pay attention to is they're trying to get them to release what this the national security concerns are.
Right.
Okay. And I think that's, if you want to focus on an article, that's one of the things that I was telling everybody, look through that article and read through that. I think it's real interesting because, you know, they keep telling us this, it's like the old, Tom Cruise, show me the money, kind of a thing, show me the national security concern. You guys keep telling us this, show it to us.
And
Okay.
What,
Marcus, I'm getting worried because of all that video, that I send in from the all that critical infrastructure I'm always
yeah,
flying by.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No kidding. The waves.
Yeah.
No, but to your point, Bill, I think you're exactly right. What I thought was interesting about that letter was that the people that wrote it, they were clearly upset, and they
Hmm.
clearly wanted to say, "Hey, we need to quit telling people this is bad. We need to show them why it's bad." So, you know, the jury is still out. I guess we'll see when we see it.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes from Ocean's 13. I'll see you when I see you. Okay.
Yeah, and
And
Marcus, I believe Ryan last night was a little skeptical of that letter demand, that thing, like somebody wrote it, but they didn't, maybe they didn't really think it was going to happen. So
Yeah, he clearly was. And here's the bottom line: nobody knows anything, and that's the point. I mean, we're all just spitting in the wind, really.
yeah.
yeah,
And when just build what you just said, show us the money, and when we see it, then we'll have a better idea. That said, I have never been more pessimistic about the odds of us having new DJI drones than I am right now. I've always been really positive about it, and I know you guys have too, saying, you know what, it's never going to happen. But boy, it's getting real.
Getting
well,
close. Yeah.
one of the things that I told Ron Marcus was, when we had Randall on last week, one of the things that he alluded to was, if this really goes south, like, the worst case kind of scenario, okay, he really alluded to the fact that, it just won't be commercial drones or enterprise drones he'll be making. He'll go the consumer route as well too. And,
Boy, wouldn't that be great?
yeah, and see the thing that really kind of sets his apart, and we got into the detail with us, is he sources almost all of his parts are from Malaysia, okay, not from the
Right,
CCP, and that really kind of is a saving grace for him.
right.
Randall is extremely intelligent. I was so impressed with him when we had him on last week.
Yeah.
Yes, I really admire his, determination, faith that he would be able to get by all these drone bans. I just hope these politicians don't rewrite the bills in such a way that they'll hurt his operation as well. So you know,
Well, and one of the things that I think we need to remember is, the one who's really kind of beating that drum and banging that Skydio, okay? All their parts are made in the CCP. I mean, it's you're banging
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I don't. Is that true, Bill? I mean, for instance, I know like their Jetson chipset is NVIDIA, so that would come from Taiwan. Uh, I, I'm sure. I agree with you. I'm sure some of them do,
Yeah.
but I don't know what.
So, that's kind of a remains to be seen kind of a thing. So,
Right.
we'll find out on that. So, it's just like, the other thing, and I'm going to kind of echo what you always say and how you're closing a show, always close a show, go out there and fly your drones. And that's one of the things that I want to tell people, even though, it's not very positive right now, go out there and fly your drones. Your drone's not a brick. You can fly it now. Enjoy it. Okay, that's what I keep telling people to do.
And the other thing is I would hate to lose DJI, but there is life after DJI. If you're a drone flyer, in the sense that, hey, we can still fly the old stuff and they can still sell the old stuff, right?
Yeah.
They just didn't get new things approved. That said, I flew that FEMA Mini version 3 a couple days ago. Let me tell you guys, it was a good experience. I reviewed the video off of it again. Boy, it looks really good. It looks darn good.
Yeah, of course, in John Tester's new bill, he wants to ban future releases of all Chinese drones. So maybe the FEMA Mini 3 may be the last FEMA Mini we ever see in the US.
That's also scary. And the Drones for First Responders Act doesn't matter if it says China on it anywhere. We're out of luck. So, yeah, those are all good points.
Well, we're going to kind of wrap things up here, and just some closing thoughts, guys, and then we'll call it a show.
Marcus, you want to give yours in case you have to evacuate for fire?
Yeah, I'm going to turn around so hopefully you guys can see the Pacific Ocean out there.
Oh yeah, I can barely see it. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I had some great flights today with my. I flew the DJI Mini 4 a couple times today, and again, it's just like what Bill just said. Man, we can sit here and worry about this stuff and get ulcers over it, or we could go out and fly our drones and have fun. I'm saying, get out there, fly your drone, have fun, and when stuff comes down, then we move forward with what we got.
Yeah,
exactly.
Our current drone line with DJI drones is top notch. I mean, they'll take care of us for years or whatever. It's always nice to get a new feature, but at this point, we know most of these drone updates are incremental. So we're pretty good with the equipment we have. Bill, one closing note: we didn't get to cover this tonight, but on the heels of Igor announcing the Air 3S. In the same almost less than 24 hours later, he also leaked a DJI Action 5 Pro camera.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Action 5, huh?
Action 5 Pro. They've never used the Pro moniker for their action camera line before. So
very interesting.
I guess it's Pro, and it could be your last DJI Action camera, so you better get it.
Buy one and keep.
You have to use it 5 years from now, still.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I've done, and listen, it sounds silly, but my wife laughs at me, but I'm like, okay, I have several pair of brand new New Balance shoes sitting in the closet I bought on Amazon because they were on sale. Okay. And I usually go through a pair in about a year's time, about 11 months or so. I have 3 years worth of shoes sitting up there, ready to go. Okay. Right. And it's what I'm saying is this, okay? With the drones, we can buy an Action 5 and just leave it in its box until whenever and open it up, kind of a thing until But and it's the same thing with buying batteries, buying propellers, other accessories, everything. Just do it. And I guess my word is this. I'm just going to echo what I've said all along. Get out there, fly, enjoy your drones. Don't be an ostrich, stick your head in the sand and say, woe is me. Get out there and enjoy your drones. I mean, that's what the name of the game is right now, okay? It's just, for me, it's like, I got to get out there either at 8 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon, because in between, it's ridiculous.
What was your temperature today, Bill?
It was 98 today. It was stinking ridiculous. And the humidity, and see, we're now in that season where the humidity matches the temperature, and it's just beyond disgusting outside right now.
Marcus, what was your temperature check today in Oregon?
Gosh, right now it's probably in the high 60s, and I mean, a little bit of a breeze. It's brilliant. I'll say that.
I'm going to be out there. I'm going to join you, Marcus.
And Billy got to 85 here today, but right before the show, I was outside. It was 68. It was a nice cool breeze. In fact, it felt a little chilly on the back porch, Bill. I know you don't want to hear that, but it was a cold wind blowing on my back porch.
I would take that. You can push some down our way. It's just, it's crazy.
It's almost like a cool Pennsylvania breeze, Bill.
Yeah, I could take that right now. I really could. Well, that's one of the things I love going when I would go to downtown Pittsburgh to go to the games or something. there was always that breeze down there
by the
from
rivers,
point
yeah.
in the game. So yeah, it was nice. So all right, guys, thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. Thanks for a great chat as always. It's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.
Good night.
See you guys later.